Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, right. Yep. There's no game tonight. There's no game. Oh, hang on. I've got a blur on my glasses. No game tonight, and there's no game next week either. So I'm going to move some move the sort of like GM prep for tonight here. I just wanted to, I'm sure in here somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, overlay. Let's make this private. I was just wanted to plan out if I could the sort of like, because we've got more people now. So we've got Medivac, Mr. Pickles, Captain Kangaroo, Fish, not Fish or Fishy, and Tickety Tech. So we've got 5 players and me. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to actually put them in here. So what I was thinking is, can I change the color of these or not? Maybe not. So I was thinking sort of like we'll have for when we're looking at everything, when we don't need the map, I was thinking something like this. So this would be me GM. And then this would be the dice rolls here. Okay, so that would be there. And then we've got 6 of them. So I thought like then we could have, or maybe we should have them roughly the same size as me, shouldn't they? Shouldn't we? We shouldn't have, oh no. No good. I don't want you anymore. Paste. It's sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's definitely going to be 5 of them. Mr. Pickles, Captain Kangaroo, Medivac, Fishy, Tickety Tex. Alternatively, what we could have is something like that. So it's just straight across all 6 of us. Do you know what I mean? With everybody the same. In which case, I might put me here. But then we've got no room for the dice. We could do like a subitizing 5, like this. Put everybody on like that, and then have me here, and like the dice rolls down here, like so. Oh, that might work. I think that looks all right, doesn't it? That'll look good. And then they'll have their sort of like underneath each one, they'll have their names, and then they'll have like their token like that. I think that'll look fine. That's not a problem at all. Okay, then. And then the issue is then, let's move all that to one side. Well, let's shrink it down a bit because it'll stay like that. That's good. Whoops. This. And then what we've got to do is the one for when we're actually playing. Okay, so this one's a little bit harder because we need like this for the game. I wonder if we put me in the dice rolls sort of like going down like that. And then put them along the bottom. Like 1, 2, go be a tight squeeze. 3, 4. Right, let's move that up for the dice rolls. I sort of like feel that this person here will be out of it. You know what I mean? He looks a bit, they look a little bit strange, just sort of like, ooh. Make sure we collect everyone. Hey, Alqua, how you doing? I'm trying to think about my overlays for when we sort of like come back to play. I think I'm going to use one like this for like the main game when we sort of like don't need the map. But when we need the map, it needs to go into something like this. I just feel this person here seems out of it. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Why don't we do this? Why don't we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't on. I'm just randomly using something at the moment. It's just the white. It's just a smart board, the whiteboard. But I can in the real one. If I went into one of my own, I could be able to do this. I'm just sort of like trying to get the look of it right. I wonder if we can have. Going to have a nasty gap here. What does it look like now?
This video is sponsored by the
1, 2, 3, 4. See, we won't get 3. We can only get 3 down here. These are actually a lot bigger. So we know 1, 2, 3. We're not going to get them all down that side. They're not going to fit. I like this one. This one's fine. I'm going to have to think about this one. The other thing that we could do is put in here the dice rolls. So on here, there's a gap for the dice rolls next to me, but we could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put somebody else there, then put the dice rolls down here. I think that's what we might do. We might do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just have the dice rolls added to this bit. Okay. Oh dear. We will have to just see how it goes. See, nobody realizes that I have this issue all the time with no one to help me. I'm just there all the time trying to figure it out by myself. Right. There's various things that we need to do. In here, I've got a to-do list. Player character secret tables. Maybe I don't have a to-do list. Oh yes, there. Look. For some unknown reason, it's a fish. Right. Ooh. All this is done. All that is done. What's this? Looking at creating. Right. We've done that. We've done that. Barton's the Doom Sorcerer. Oh, that was ages ago. That. Okay then. So create fishies intro to the adventure. We've got to do that. Traveling to the bog, as in a swamp, before anybody thinks anything else. traveling through the bog. And then the next one is into the mountains. Okay. So let's get on with traveling to the bog, enter the bog. Okay, so this is where we were up to last time, and I jotted down some ideas that I might want, that I might have, but I've actually come up with an idea of how to do it. So I'm going to call this one traveling to the bog. Okay, that's what it's going to be called. And this one is going to be called preparing to travel. Oh, that's something else I need to do. I've just remembered something else. Where's the little fish gone? I've gone and forgotten what I had to do. My brain, I tell you, what did I have to do? Downtown activities, including recruitment. I've got a funniest feeling that both Bartleby and Cyrus are going to sort of like want a bit of, we want to call people in. Hi, the boy Smythe, how are you doing? No RPG session tonight, so I'm doing GM prep. So if you are a player, don't watch. Let me just tag them. Then I can, pin that. Right. Okay, so I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I think I know how I'm going to do it. So let's program this part in. It will, oh, we don't want caps lock on. It will take 7 days to reach the edge of the bog, and then another 7 days to travel across bog. The townsfolk will be able to provide directions, and they will tell the group that their farms start about 7 days journey from Weenvine. Good. They will also tell them that the blight, we'll call it, came from the north. The only landscape, the only terrain to the north is a mountain range that closes in old glacial valley. Okay, that's good. The party will need to decide how many revisions they will take in, and also how will they transport it. What rule book are you reading, the boy Smythe? "7 days to the farm." What? Yeah, it is World Anvil, and it contains all my worlds. So there's a huge amount on here. I think my Mithras one is the biggest one, but then I have classic fantasy, Metro City, which is superhero, and then this one is Voltaris 42.7, which is M Space, which is sci-fi. And then this is the new What Lies Beyond, which is sort of like Call of Cthulhu-esque, after the Vampire Wars, sort of like feel to it. But how they will progress after this is not known. Okay. Traveling the first 7 days. Ensure that the party reaches the edge of the bog. They will be required to identify an action and a skill that they wish to use for to ensure safe passage. Each party member will then roll, and if they succeed, they will add 20% to the overall score. If a critical is rolled, then this will be doubled. This is a 500 page, but it's rules. Oh, nice. That's I really like it when they include an adventure as well. For the party to reach the edge of the bog safely, they need to ensure that they reach 100%. If this does not happen, but if a fumble is rolled, then 20% will be deducted from the score. So what I'm sort of like thinking here is that they've got 7 days of traveling. So rather than going through each of the 7 days, and I got this idea from the Mithras Matters podcast of this September, this month's, because I did an interview with Dan True, and Dan True is like a master of creating mysteries and things like that. And he uses it. This, I don't know if you'll hear this actually. Let me just properties. Let me just. So this is the start of my podcast. I start to talk in a minute.
In this episode, I am joined by Dan True as he shares with us how to create adventures that focus on murders and mysteries. Welcome to the Mithras Matters podcast, Season 1, Episode 54, Murder and Mystery in Easy Steps.
I love the music to it. Oh yes, very much so. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to Mithras Matters, a podcast dedicated to the Mithras rule set and all its supplements. As always, I am your host, Inwils, and welcome to February. Yes, it's February, the month that I can't say correctly. How I love. So, anything else before we move on to NPC?
The sound is pretty rough, but there's actually, if you're interested, the boy Smythe, there's actually 54 episodes of it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no worries. There's 54 episodes of it. So there's absolutely loads to listen through. So do go and have a listen if you wish. I think Mithras is really good for converting games, Alqua, and I would. This sounds like a right like a whatchamacallit, doesn't it? An advert. If you go to December's issue, I was joined by I'll have to convince it. Allow you another subscription to what? The podcast's free. It's absolutely free. In episode 52, Alqua, I'm joined by Rael and Matt E, and they talk about how to convert games from other games to Mithras. So you might be interested in that. Or are you just not allowed to have another podcast? So anyway, back to this idea. So the idea is, rather than going through every 5 minutes and sort of like, you go and you camp so-and-so, so-and-so. What they have to do, they have to tell me something that they're going to do to keep the party safe. And then if they roll. Oh yes, no worries. I try not to put important content there, so don't. You're probably not missing a lot. But remember, this video, the boy Smythe, is live on YouTube as well, and it's part. I have a whole playlist of GM prep and everything like that, so you can watch it back if you wish. On my YouTube channel. Oh, definitely. And just so you know, Alqua, I actually nix some ideas from Call of Cthulhu and bring them into Mithras. You know, and because they're all both D100 systems, it's very easy to convert backwards and forwards. Very easy. I actually found in my I've got some crates or plastic tubs of old D&D stuff next door, and I actually found my original RuneQuest rule book. It has no cover on it, but it's definitely RuneQuest. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Thank you much for the raid. No worries at all. I hope it went well. Call of Cthulhu's a bit like a murder mystery. It's set originally in 1920 America, but for our campaign, we set in Victorian Britain, London. We don't run it anymore, but they used to. It's sort of like Jack the Ripper sort of thing. No worries. I always like to pass on to somebody else's stream, and plus I play Necros and Nightblades, so yeah. Well, we don't play Dungeons and Dragons. We play a system called Mithras. This is it. That was good fun. Yeah, Mythic Rome and is a really good. I don't have it, but I find all of their content so good, absolutely fantastic. So I used to play when I was younger, a lot younger, and then I came back and played 5th edition. Didn't like 5th edition, wanted a new game, so started to play that's Call of Cthulhu, what it looks like now. So we play, the design mechanism actually sponsors me, and so I do their podcast, which gets between 100 and 200 downloads a month. And then I create rules videos for them on YouTube, and we live stream the game. So the same game, it's a bit like Savage Worlds, if you know Savage Worlds. So we have the same rule system, but we play fantasy, classic fantasy, M-Space, which is sci-fi, Destined, which is superheroes, and soon we're going to be playing After the Vampire Wars, which is a modern investigative campaign that I'm working on. So we normally play on a Saturday night here, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock, and I'm joined by 3 people from America and 2 people from England. Darth, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you.
Hello, Darthy, and
lovely to see you. I hope you're looking good and feeling fine. So the idea of this is that they each suggest a role, a skill, an activity, and a skill. If they roll it and it's successful, it adds to the 100%. So there's 5 of them. So if they all succeed, it gets to 100%, and that's it. There's no worry. They reach the edge of the bog absolutely fine. If this does not happen, then there will be some consequences. Can I just say, everybody who's, I might make this a little bit bigger actually. It's good for my eyesight as well. They've just redone all this. I wish I could get rid of this bit here, but you can't. Right, so we're going to have unordered list. Now, I haven't thought about a lot of things for this at the moment, but I thought of one actually, which is not good because we're going to have to think of some more, at least 3. The party will lose 2 days of provisions. Party will start the next scene with 1d3 wounds in 1 or more locations. If the party have a wagon, it will be its axle will be broken at this point. Yeah, so the adventure goes, they're going to travel to the edge of the bog first, the edge of the swamp, which is 7 days. So I don't want to keep saying, right, you sleep for the night. What are your orders? What are you going to eat? What are you going to do? Right, next night, what you're going to do, what you're going to do. So what I've designed is that they will identify an action and a skill. And if they're successful in that, they get to add 20% to the overall score. And if it gets to 100, that's absolutely fine. There's 5 of them, so 20% each. So if I give you an example, so I can imagine Hazra, who's like a nomadic hunter. He will say he has survival skills and things like that. So he might say, so every night I'm going to use survival to find a safe place to camp and to collect food. Okay, so I'll say, that's brilliant. So you will roll your survival. And if he's successful, he adds 20%. Okay, if somebody doesn't do anything or say, I can't do anything, then they're not going to hit the 100% unless they get a crit. So, and then if they don't, if they roll a fumble, which any roll 99 or 100% is a fumble, unless their skill is actually over 100%, and in which case it's only 100 that is the fumble. But if they fumble, then you actually deduct 20% from the actual score. Okay, and then these will roughly be, I've got 3 things to choose then what can actually happen at this point. And then we can progress from here. So the other thing, I think I'm going to rename traveling to I'm going to have another one because there's so much to do while they're in the bog. Okay, then. So these, we'll just leave those there for the time being. One or more of the following can be chosen at random to inflict. I love that word. Inflict on the party. Now, we actually have an animist who actually deals with spirits. And Tex and I have been working on that because I've never had an animist character in the campaign, and Tex has never played one. So we've been doing some work on the evenings trying to make sure that we can actually play it. But this is the sort of like the next bit. I am going to actually copy that, and I'll use it in a second. Okay. And the party. As the party approach edge of the bog, they will notice, they will smell the rotting vegetation and the black soil. Bog stretches in all directions. Oh, and a mist / fog hangs in the air, and whose chance of seeing is dead. Okay, that's all right. Well, in the bog, all section rolls will be at 1 grade higher. Purely visual rolls will be 2 grades. Da, da, da. So I found some pictures. Let me see if I can. I was going to have a swamp, but I've actually changed it to a peat bog sort of like thing. I really like this picture because it's sort of like you can see the mountains in the sort of like in the distant. But I was just thinking, can you imagine traveling over that? What it must be like to travel over that. I mean, where would you camp? It's just sort of like unbelievable, isn't it? And then on top of that, as they get further on, there's sort of like a mist hanging in the air. you know, and I'll probably find a suitable piece of music to play in the end. And I'll use pictures like that to sort of like set the scene. Hi, Zal, how you doing? Yes, exactly. Can they sink into the spagmum? Of course. There's going to be so much fun that's happening now. So during the first 7 days to get to the edge of the bog, time has gone quite quickly. And then all of a sudden, when they hit this point, this is it. You know, this is it. But okay, so this is the trick. Okay. I love this next bit. The bog appears to be ill-placed, out of place, since a month or so ago, this would have been farmland. So the boy Smythe it's spirits that have created the bog. So the spirits have actually come back into Odess. And yes, there are things lurking in the bog. And I'm actually going to try to orchestrate a mass battle that they're sort of like on a mound, and these beasts start to come from left and right, and there's sort of like 100 of them charging to them. That's what I want to create. That's what I really want to create. I've done some work on that, so it's ready. It is quite good. So the boy Smythe, just so you know, we have a wonderful mechanic in Mithras. Let me find it and bring it up for you. So rules. So this is the mechanic that we have. So basically, when anybody is doing any action, including fighting, they, after X amount of rounds, they have to make an endurance check or become fatigued. So the party is always trying to finish the battle as quickly as possible, because if they don't, they'll interrupt as much as you want. I don't mind at all. So you can see as they get winded, skill levels get harder. Their movement gets reduced. There's a penalty on initiative, which is, you'll know. Action points are, so in each combat turn, the party have action points. And with those action points, they can do something. So, for example, to hit with a weapon, that's one action point. To parry a blow with either your weapon or your shield, that's an action point. To cast a spell, that's an action point. To ready a weapon, that's an action point. You know, so it's it's really good how it sort of like builds it up. So what I can do, right, as well as them being sinking into the mud, if they don't make their endurance roll, they're going to start getting fatigued. Now, Bartleby, who is the theist, he can actually cure that and remove it. But it's all like, okay, then how long does he want to do that for? You know, and the interesting thing with fatigue, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but you can actually get so fatigued that you actually die. That's it. Once you can actually become semi-conscious, then comatose, and then dead. So you can actually get to the point that you're working so hard that after a while, you just end it. So the party are constantly trying to avoid it. Most people only have two. Yeah, so in classic fantasy, the game we've just been playing, everyone has two, no matter what their characteristics are. In M Space, it's the same. Everybody has two. So in classic fantasy, you start off with two, but as you gain levels, you get more action points. In Mithras, this game, it's basically it's taken from your I think it's dexterity and intelligence. There you go. So you add them together. So generally, the fighters have three. That's generally what happens. Yes. Yeah. So classic fantasy is a different rule system, but it has classes in them. Can you see that? That's the druid. So you actually have classes. Well, Mithras doesn't have classes at all. There are no classes in Mithras at all. No classes at all. Which makes it really interesting. So we use Roll20 as our virtual tabletop, our VTT. So let me find a character. So all these characters are sort of like retired now. But Ulrich was a character that I played. So you can see here, they have hit point location. So you don't have hit points. You have hit point locations. So these hit point locations never change. Never change. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a dragon or a spider. These always stay the same. So you can see he's got 3 action points. He's actually wearing laminated and half plate. Okay. So he's wearing pretty heavy armor. He's got a hoplite shield and a battle axe. But he's also got combat spells. And then he has what's known, he was a mystic. So he has mysticism, which is a bit like a monk. So his aura, he can actually start walking forward and emit a fear aura that people will roll away, just run away, and that's it. And then everything has a percentile die. So he's 75% with his combat. And so if I was to roll his combat, you can see the various difficulties. So I would have failed that roll at a standard because I got 88 and my skill is 75. So I would have just made a mess of it, But yeah, so Classic Fantasy was last week. We played 2 adventures with every rule set. and then we swap. Those are the rules. So we play 2 adventures, swap. And if people don't like the game that we're playing to, they're more than welcome to not play it, but then come back when they have a game that they do want to play. So Tickety Tex didn't like Classic Fantasy, so he dropped out of that, but he's coming back when we play Mithras or M Space and so forth and so on. The only other rule that we have is that we don't play if anybody is missing. So this week I needed to do some prep like this, but we would have played the week after, but Fishy can't come then, so we don't play. And it gives us all a rest as well. The box to be since a month ago, which have been farmland. Party should begin to wonder what is going on. There is no magic to be seen. However, if anyone looks onto the spirit plane, they will see bog spirits slowly hurting the area to a favorite terrain. Right. Just to let you know, if I'm looking, hang on, I can show you that's all right. So I need to see what they actually use, because they have a skill. I think it's domain, spirit types. So that they're actually called I actually looked up this word because I hadn't seen the word before, and I'm sure it said that you just pronounce it domain, but I'm not too sure. If anybody wants to correct me, then please do so. So I think this this skill allows them gains domain over aspects of the environment within the range. Normally, for example, a plant spirit could control the growth, flowering, and fruiting of it. If the domain of the spirit is challenged by a character, they may attempt to overcome its power by winning, for example, to lie within the domain of the true spirit. But yeah, okay then. So that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping will happen. Right. We need to, at this point, I'm going to put a quote in. Nature, spirits, sorry. Bog spirits, and then in bracket, nature. Right, we're going to have to roll some dice now. we need to, now I can actually roll dice on here, but I have to be on that screen. So I'm just going to roll it in here. 2. It's a good start. 2. Power will be equal to their intensity. And then let's pop that in. And then last is charisma. And that's going to be 3d6s. Mm, 11. Spectral combat is 50 plus power plus charisma. Right, hang on. Let's see what this see what their power is. There's another a table for this. This is why I'm flicking through the book. What was the intensity? 2. Power range between 13 and 18. So we'll just go middle of the road and put 15 in there. Then so spectral combat is 50 plus 15, which is 65, plus 11, which is 76%. Yeah, you come and get me. Oops. And then willpower is 50% plus power doubled. So that's 80%. Boom. Right, let's just put these, oops. Put that all on that. Then let's type in a bracket like that. The my domination. Cool. So just so you can see what that looks like, just so you know, it does automatically save, which is a godsend. Right, why is that not coming out properly? What have I done, people? Or maybe I'm not allowed to have. Maybe I'm not allowed to have. Okay, let's get rid of these. Put the line break in there. Let's do that. Okay, let's get rid of the line break. See what that does. Why are you doing that? I have no idea. I think it might be these lines. I think they might be having an issue because I put those lines in there. Yes, it is. It's those lines. Okay, then. But so let's see what happens if we put a page break in there and a page break in there. What does that look like? Doesn't look like anything. Okay, never mind. I can sort of like, I can see what that is. That's not a problem. Obviously, it doesn't like anything within that quote bracket. You want to know where? I think I'm not going to put it in that quote. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop it. I might put it in a quote and see what it looks like up here. So this is one of the, on a page, you've got things here. And so you can put things in that gap so I can see it straight away. I think I'll just leave it in both of them and just see how it goes. I need to what's the what's this called? Is it just cover? Is that all I called it? Let's go in here. There you go. Pop that in there. And so when we actually look at it now, it will have that on top of it. And then these down here, these actually go back to the overview, and then I can click through the ones that I want to sort of like look at. Okay, then. So this is all good now. That's all done. That's all done. Okay, I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy it and then delete it. Brilliant. I'm going to make sure that the navigation is set up, which is good. And then I'm going to find, do I have? No, so we need a new article. It's going to be a plot, and it's going to be called S. Oops, S dash 4 dash into the bog. Okay. Go private, published. And then we're going to have a look at this. And the first thing I need to do is set up the navigation. Overview, Return of the Spirit. This is 4, so this needs to be 600. Boom. So that's that done now. Okay. Traveling across the bog. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know why Inico's calling out anybody who just comes into the chat rather than only when they do their first words. I'm not too sure why they're doing that. I disable that now when people come into the chat. Okay. All it used to say something when because that when somebody typed in the chat, which is what I want. I don't want to start calling out people who are just sort of like lurking and looking at. I don't want that. Right, traveling through the bot. Right, the first thing I need to do is paste all that in, so I've got it. Okay. The bog is very wet and unstable. If a character wishes to perform any sort of movement other than a walk, they will need make a hard athletics roll to stay on their feet. Da, 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 ba, da, ba, ba, ba. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next one. Twice a day, they will need to make endurance checks or gain level of fatigue. Ha ha ha. Ooh, I'm so nasty and mean. Remember your wumble. Remember that. Miss Linda's perception. To find stable ground to rest on requires a survival check at a reasonable level. So it's not impossible. They can find it, but it's really, really hard. The party members will be bitten by the range of flying insects that come to Bog. These will only be a mild annoyance. However, character may be allergic to the bites. Each player will roll between 1, 5, not allergic. Suffer skill. Suffer 1 step in all difficult. Okay, that's good. So that's sort of like the bare minimum of them. That's all about traveling across the bog. So that's sort of like all the standard stuff in there. Okay. Do I put... I feel that we're ready for battle. That's what I feel at the moment. I feel that we've done a lot. We've sort of like done a lot of skill checks, etc. But it's about time that we sort of like brought out our weapons and have a bit of a swing at things. Mithra. This one. Right. Does it have a shambling mound? No. Bog monster. Swamp. Ooh, right, we got some. We got some frogmen. We got some crocodiles. Got some froggermoth. I'm not too sure actually. Let's see. That looks super cool, doesn't it? Oh my giddy aunt. Okay, so this actually has I don't know if you can see it. So it actually has 6 to 8 armor points and 21 hit points on each location. That is huge. That is huge. But it's from classic fantasy. See, it's a lot easier to kill things in classic fantasy. So this one is a swamp gator. See what that looks like. Yeah, exactly. Even this swamp gator is tough. Do you want to know? I'm going to risk a swamp gator. I'm actually going to risk it. So I don't know if you can see, but up here there's 4 numbers, or you can't see them. You can't see the 4 numbers, but there are 4 numbers up there. And then what I do is that I come to this. I change those 4 numbers to that. And then I select it all, copy it, go into here. Start a new character. Swamp gator, like that. Save that. And then I come to this little button here and I paste everything in, click import, and it will fill in the whole character sheet for me. So it's all done now. Yes. So 12. It's sort of like depends on how much time. So Hazra, he's like a fighter. He's got, his chest has 8 hit points in it. So it would seriously hurt him. Let's try crocodile. Yes. So serious wound is 0 or below. So this beast has got 12 points, say. So he will fight as normal until he reaches 0. Between 0 and -12, it's a serious wound. And then after -12, then he can lose a limb. So I'm just, well, yes. Well, it would also depend on his hit location, where he was hit. So positive hit points is a minor wound. Serious wound is 0 hit points or less. Negative hit points equal to or greater than the starting hit points. So if you gain a major wound, okay, you immediately incapacitated and you can't continue to fight. If it's a limb that gets it, that it gets severed, transfixed, or shattered or ripped off. If it's a head, chest, or abdomen, drops unconscious, has to make an endurance check against the original attack. And if they fail, they're dead. That's it. Done. There's no death saves or anything like that. If it happens, it happens. They're dead. Exactly. That's exactly why. So, so the sorcerer Cyrus has this. So damage resistance protects the entire body. It provides the recipient with a number of armor points equal to its intensity. So that's a huge boost up. So if Cyrus cast that on people, like so his intensity will be the same as his it'd be part of his skill. I think it is. Sorcerers need not apply all their intensity. Sorcerer spells have a default intensity equal to 1/10 of the caster's skill. So say, for example, his skill's 8. He's put 8 points of armor onto everyone, which is a huge amount. It really is a huge amount. And if they're really sort of like organized, then they can do a good fight. So Bartleby has this, which gives him a colossal shield to protect him. So he can just call it up and it protects him, which is really nice. Really, really nice. I mean, people like clerics can do like earthquake. Yes. I think they're going to be really worried about the next Mithras adventure, because I think it's been so tough so far. Right, let me just oh, we should bring on a Minotaur, look. Right, let's see. Do I have an alligator in here? Wolves, hunting dogs. Okay then. So one of the things I can do in Roll20 is do this. So I can look at all my other games. So if I go to Brigadoon, which is my D&D adventure, if I can find a crocodile in here, there, and you see it says crocodile. So what I can do is drag this across to here. Already exists. Oh, named large crocodile 1. So we must have it already. Oh, here, look. Da, da, da. Right, so what we can do now, let's get rid of that. Swamp alligator. And then we go here and say the selected token. And then we can't drag it from there, but we can drag it from here. I think. Maybe not. There's so many tokens. Okay, we might just have to leave it. It might have to be okay, never mind. You can't drag from there. Can we drag it? No, hang on. Right, we'll just leave it. It just doesn't look good in my in here. It does look like blue thing. Right, I just need to go to the bathroom. I will be 2 ticks. You can't agree. That would be fun. We all love a good Peter Pan, don't we? We all like a good Peter Pan. I just don't believe that there's nothing in. Never mind. This annoys me when they're just sort of like blue things. I've called this shambling swamp thing. Oh, I know what this is. This is a character. This is a character that I'm making up. That makes sense now. Right. We're going to need to tidy put these in here. That's probably an NPC. That is a monster. We'll tidy it up in a second, I think. Right. Events in the bog. That's what we're going to call it. Alligator. Gator attack. We'll call it Gator attack. I think it has a camouflage skill. Oh no! Right, that's a lovely song. Thank you. I will have a look. We're not going to have that. We're going to rename this. To Swamp Gator. I'm going to give them a stealth of 57. So that. Ooh, let's have a look at Marsh. Oh, there's a proper crocodile look. This crocodile might be better. Ooh, yes. Okay, then. Thank you. I'm going to take that crocodile. That's what we're going to do. Mm-mm. I'm going to call it Swamp Gator. And we're going to, right, what does it say here? Modify, that can go. Camouflage. Density spots suffer a penalty of 2 difficult grades. Nice. Ha ha ha. Oh, hang on. Some of these need to go because these are the previous ones. Modify. In. Nice. This can all go. Okay. Perception. X. Spot. Gator. At. To. Difficult. Grades higher. Yes, you did. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I'm actually going to change that and put it as a H4 tag. And put that like that. That's good. H4. Okay, then. Sinking mud. Haha. It's party. Press. Cross. Bog. There is a chance that someone will step a patch of sinking mud. This happened, then the character will suddenly sink up to their mid calf. They will then start slowly sink till rescue. Sinking, oops, space. Sinking stages will be. Let's make a list. We like a good list. It's going to be an ordered list. We like those even more. That. Mid calf. Knee. Mid. Thigh. Hips. Waist. Chest. Neck. Head. It's enough time for them. They sinking to escape sinking mode. Out party. First win. Same number of closed rolls to level of sinking. For example, if character is up to the hips, knee, in hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that the party can cast like a strength spell on people that increases their brawn skill. So hopefully what I'm doing is that they will actually cast it and to help them. The mud itself has a brawn skill of 64%. Aha. So we'll both roll 100-sided dice, percentile dice. If I get less than 64, I've succeeded. Same with them. But if we both succeed, it's the person with the highest score. So I could actually get a 10 and they could have a brawn of 27 and get a 20 and they've won. Yes. So if it's up at the hips, one brawn roller take them to mid thigh, the next one knee, the next one mid calf, and the next one out. So what I do with all, sorry. It's all right. So what I'm going to do with all these is sort of like judge what the party are doing and then to do something. Um, oh, I've just had a really mean idea. I might make the gator attack at night. That would be so much fun. That really would be fun. No, no gator in this. No, yeah. If the gator was in the sinking mud too, I want to have a night encounter. We're going to have a haunting farmer. Ooh. I like that. I'm going to put it up here. Yeah, so there is so what it is blood loss. Its effects are measured by accumulation of fatigue levels in a manner similar to asphyxiation. So there's actually they could light it with so there is a bleed effect. So if somebody gets a special, oh, that's something else, but don't tell the party. So up until now, I've never had specials. Okay. But because they're so high level now for Mithras, some of the monsters will have specials, some of the opponents. If they overcomes the interested party, the defender must make an opposed endurance roll. If that fails, that they begin to, at the start of each combat round, the recipient loses 1 level of fatigue until they collapse and possibly die. Let's go and put your leeches in. If any of the characters fall into or there is a chance that 6 leeches will attach cells to any exposed skin or even up through underneath leeches. Yes, we can. we can do that, and I will do that. I'm trying to think of will rain blood causing character 1 level of every. Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, and I don't need to mention this, you know, I think Bartleby is going to be very busy. So he's a theist. What in D&D terms would be a cleric. He worships the moon goddess called Amriel. I've made all these up, by the way. She has a brother called Maroth, which is the dark moon. It's her like opposing moon. And Alqua, the other thing that I was thinking, I will get them to roll dice and to say, oh, could you all roll a D100, please? And then just give them the level of fatigue until they start to realize. And the other thing is, they're going to be petrified of picking up a disease. I bet you it's just like if they have a fight, you know, what is the chances that they actually pick up some kind of nastiness? I think the gator has a tail attack. Tail, yeah. May substitute the swim skill for athletics and evades rolls while in the water. Yeah. I don't want to be, I honestly don't want to be too mean to them. I want them to enjoy. I do want them to enjoy. Right. Let's have a look what this looks like. I might put these into bullet points, you know. I tell you what, we won't. I'll just add 1, 2 to them. They could. The possibilities are unlimited. It's go bang. Yes. Do you want to know? And this is the difference. If I was playing 5e and there were sort of like 4th to 7th level characters, I would have gas explode on them. Because I would sort of like roll a whole load of dice and say, you take 20 hit points of damage. and they just say in 5e, they'll go, right, okay, then I carry on. It would mean nothing to them at all. But if I roll a d10 for some of these characters, they could lose an arm. They really could. And that's what I think makes the game. I don't know if anybody saw last week's game, but they were gaining, they would lose, their rolls were so bad, they could have easily died at several occasions. They really could have. They could have been dead left, right, and center. But they didn't. They didn't. They were absolutely fine. Okay, people. Thank you for hanging out with me. They're almost lost. They are. We got more to do on this, but I'm really pleased that I streamed, and thank you for all the chat as well, because it motivates me as well. I'm going to head off and get an earlier night rather than 10 o'clock, but I'll definitely need to do some more of this either tomorrow or next week. I will be playing some more Elder Scrolls Online tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. But do I start at 10? Yes, 10 o'clock. But also remember, tomorrow afternoon, Cascade and I will be doing jumping puzzles on Guild Wars 2. So do come along and see that. It's going to be a right laugh, I tell you, a right laugh. Okay, don't forget, if you would like to see any of my previous content, then do check out YouTube, or you can see me on social. I'm either inwils or inwils1159, and that's it. Okay, I'm just going to say quickly thank you. That's not what I wanted. I want to say thank you to my supporters. Oops. Transform. Thank you to my supporters on both Ko-fi and Patreon. I really do appreciate all your support. Thank you hugely. And of course, the design mechanism as well. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, look after yourself. Stay safe and healthy. And I'll catch you all later. See you all. Bye-bye.